What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Alex here from Team Generations, and today we are back again with another video. Today, something a bit of a daunting subject we have to address. I feel like at this point, something that I usually don't like to kind of go into, but it is a negative kind of situation right now surrounding the promo cards, as you can tell by the title of this video, probably the card, everything you can see. We do have to address it though, I think. If you followed the channel for a while, you know that I did previously do market watches, but I feel like they kind of became a little more of like a complaining fest as I started recording some ever since like the D promo situation started coming out. So I didn't want to kind of put that negative content on my channel. I really want to be a positive place and just provide value to you, and I don't think that was the best way to do it at the time, and maybe that'll change in the near future. So if you do like market watch, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Might come back, but at the same time too, I do want to give specific feedback regarding this product over here, just promos in general. I want to talk about just how they get distributed, what the issues are with them in general in terms of distribution, just the general issues that we are facing over here. And I know I've been kind of out there on Twitter about it a little bit. One or two of my tweets got a little buzz, but if you want to follow me, go ahead on there. But let's just talk about it first. So the first thing I want to address with the promos is availability. So I actually found out from this thread over here, I think it was this thread or one of these, basically only LGSs, certified like official Bushiroad stores, get promo packs. So promo packs, there's an issue with that twofold. Promo packs are mailed separately from your actual product. The product itself sometimes is difficult enough to get. I'm talking about the cases. So for example, my local game store, they had their order canceled or something like last minute. They couldn't get it day of. So A, people were out of the product day of, and then B, they still had not received their promo pack, which since then they have been, but people, that whole weekend, people wanted the cards. So what did they do? My local game stores, stuff is up in the air. What are they going to do? They went and ordered. I ordered stuff separately. It is what it is. Because of that, we now can't purchase it from our LGS, and we can't get these promo packs if they were there on release day. So if they were on there on release day, and we wanted to get it from them, I'm sure everything would be great, but that wasn't the case. And these are extremely hard to get. I feel like this is a normal thing on the East Coast of the United States. Like a lot of stores actually get delayed their products or whatever it is, because I think they're shipping out from Singapore or whatever, so easier on the West Coast than it is on the East Coast. I could be wrong, but I've seen situations like this kind of occur before. The second part of this whole thing is that Bushiroad should want people to distribute their game no matter what form or medium they're really like selling in. So for example, we should all support our LGSs. It's great to have a place to play, tournaments organized. I absolutely love my shop owner. Mike, if you're watching, thank you so much for what you do. It means a lot to us, and you've really built up such a great community. I think that the issue is, A, if you buy from like an online retailer or kind of like distributor kind of person, vendor, so to speak, who buys their cases directly from the distributor, the markup isn't as high. Obviously, they don't have overhead. It's part of the business. It is what it is. Like, I'm not going to say a single bad thing about my local store owner or anything like that, but he has to have some sort of profit margin to carry this game, to carry this product, and have a reason to sell it. So for me, it is cheaper to go through somebody else, and sometimes I go through my shop owner, sometimes I don't. But the fact that now I have no choice to get these extremely expensive promos but to go to my LGS is pretty bad, because you've now undermined everybody who buys cases, which should be Bushiroad's real, goal. And their idea about, their true business function is to sell these things in bulk to these people who then distribute it, to the middleman, so to speak. You've kind of alienated everybody who buys them online, and now they've relied on like selling splits, things like that. People are going to be way more hesitant to buy just splits. They want to get it from an LGS now because they need these promo cards. So you've, like I said, alienated that section of your business, which is really, really bad. You've also made it more expensive for the consumer, and as a consumer, you should always be looking for the lowest price. That's just the nature of it all. It is what it is. That's our system. That's how it should technically be. If you have reasons to obviously spend a little bit more to support your friends, whatever, your local game store, 100% do it. It is what it is. I'm not telling you how to spend your money, no way, but that's just, the natural inclination of somebody should be looking for the cheapest price, and that typically is the vendor without the overhead. So it's kind of screwed the player base in that regard. It's screwed the people who have consistently bought cases, don't have just a storefront necessarily to vend out of. So annoying in that regard. And then the supply of these are absolutely shot because it's only LGSs, and LGSs, the way they've been receiving them, I've seen it all over Twitter, super finicky. People aren't receiving them on time. People aren't distributing them correctly. Let's just go through a couple of these over here. This all kind of started, let's touch on that a little bit later, but LGSs aren't distributing this right, and I'll just show you. This is the Overlord promo, and I'm gonna talk about the Overlord deck and just a whole nother topic in just a minute. But you're gonna tell me this person with 50,000 sales is a regular consumer who received all 28 copies of these through purchasing packs. That's not true. That's just straight up not true. That's a vendor, that's a store, that's whatever it is. Somebody took those, they opened those packs, and they're selling them because they know they're valuable. It is what it is. The Bushiroad put it into their hands. They're gonna do it. Like, they know this is happening. They're trying to just placate the vendors now, the LGSs, the official stores who actually get their stuff. And it's a big FU to the consumer and the people who actually play the game, who don't want to scalp, who just want to have fun with it. It is absolutely awful. So let's take a step back now too and talk about some of these promo decks, and just the fact that promos come out for them are an issue in and of themselves. So let's look at Ava. Upon release, bad deck. Everyone was trashing it. Just not good, not functioning. Can't get live on grade 3. What did it need? It clearly needed the PR. They knew this was coming. They knew it was coming out. It's fine. You basically punish the early adapters in a way. So what they did is, I'm somebody who likes to play Brentgate, let's say. I want to buy an Ava deck. I buy a split. I go in a case with my friends, whatever. I'm an early adopter to the product. I'm supporting your case, your direct sale from Bushiroad through the distributor, whatever it is. I have a bad deck. Oh man, I have a bad deck. It is what it is, whatever. A month later, this promo card, or whatever it is, got announced, and this basically fixed the deck and propelled it, of course, up into the meta. This is now like a top 3, one of the top 3 decks, let's just say, for argument's sake, in the meta right now. This is locked behind a promo card. So if you were an early adopter, for example, I just bought these cards online because Ava was super cheap upon launch. I was like, all right, whatever, let me get at least a playset of it. We'll see what happens in the future. I did that just to turn around and realize that I had to spend, $17. These were also a little bit more, I feel like a couple months ago. Yeah, they were a little higher back over here in November, $45. This is the base rare version too, right? This isn't even the hollow one. So we can see the market price a couple months ago were way higher, but now it's settled around that $17 price range, which is still kind of crazy. Overall, you just basically locked this deck's competitive viability behind a promo card that's not distributed well at all. I got lucky enough to just pull these from like tournament packs or whatever. I naturally pulled 4 of these. I feel like I'm the only person in the world who might have done that, but I did not. I just said to myself, it's not worth it, and that kind of goes into all these decks. The same kind of rule over here. And yeah, these are the hollow versions. They were going for crazy amounts market price. Oh my god. But same thing with Overlord. We were an early adopter. I purchased the deck when it came out. I played it. I had fun. The new stuff comes out. It wasn't that great. Whatever. Like, it is what it is kind of deal. I feel like I keep on saying that. But now the deck's competitive viability is locked behind a promo card, which I didn't anticipate. And again, the Bushiroad just spits in my face and says, look, if you still want to play your deck that you've already invested in, you might SP it out, you might do all this stuff, you need to go ahead and buy a common 4 of in your deck that's going to feel super out of place if it's a high rarity deck for exorbitant prices. So I could probably build an Overlord deck for $100, whatever it is, probably less than that at this point. I have to go ahead and buy 4 of these. If I wanted to place at $70, that's $280 I would have to spend, plus tax, to go and get a playset of this through TCG Player. We obviously see people are selling them, and they're selling for the same ridiculous amounts on Vanguardians and stuff like that. I feel like those people shouldn't be allowed to sell on the page, but it is what it is. Knight of Inheritance, Emmeline over here, another blaster card, right? You purchased the MLB deck, you played it, you had fun, whatever, you supported the product when it came out. Guess what? We're not going to support the consumer because you have to go and find these 4 promo cards now at $30 a pop for a deck that you could probably put together for, $60 otherwise, or whatever it is. It's insanity. It's really disrespectful to the players, the whole market. Everybody's complaining about this on Twitter and Vanguardians and stuff. It's not like we don't see this. So I feel like I'm pointing out specific things. I'm not trying to give general negative feedback, kind of give specific negative feedback. And the fact that you invest in a deck early, same thing with this over here with Tamiyura. You invest in a deck early, you're an early adapter, and you get thrown to the wayside by promos. The promos that clearly nobody has, because there's only 4 copies listed for $100 right now. $100 for 1 of these. This is a necessary 4 of in this deck. That should not exist. There should be no promo that their competitive viability is locked behind a 4 of promo, because you're just asking for this. They knew this was going to happen. They absolutely knew. The English market is different than the Japanese. They 100% knew it. Market price of whatever it is, $35. I haven't seen any. I guess let's check out the sales history. Yeah, they're really going for around that $37, $40 kind of price range. It's crazy. It's really That's not okay. It's $400 if I want to play this right now. This isn't Yu-Gi-Oh! This isn't Magic. This isn't Pokemon. There's no cash support. There's no, you know, there's some regionals that's that you can get a trophy or a nice card. It is what it is. There's no way that your deck should be as expensive as some of those like higher ends, higher stakes kind of games in a way. Because at the end of the day, we really are more of a niche card game. It's, you know, the sad truth in a way, but it is what it is. That's why I personally have this channel. I want people to kind of get into the game, have a nice resource to kind of look at, you know, deck profiles, little testing games, things like that. Just a very friendly environment, but it pains me to make a video like this, but I feel like something has to kind of be said. So again, another deck that you might have purchased, been an early adopter, and then boom. I do want new cards. That's not the issue. It's just I don't want them in the form of a promo that's A, locked behind a huge paywall on the secondary market, B, distributed poorly to your local game stores, and C, only distributed through your local game store, period. Like that's not okay. You're just asking for trouble over here. Like, you know, I see people only have a couple play sets. Again, 50,000 sales, 16 copies. Yeah, they definitely, you know, were just a consumer opening them up. But whatever, that's not here or there. I think going forward, if I was to offer a solution, I think it's something very simple and easy. Put them back into the cases. Make him a box topper. I mean, things that are just available to people and not just locked behind a distributor or local game store or the secondary market, whatever it is. I also see that, you know, a lot of regions, you know, Southeast Asia, for example, has no issues with these promos. In Japan, they're not, you know, they're not these insane kind of prices. I saw a different fight posted the other day. You know, it was only pennies for the Thagria card. For us, it shouldn't cost an arm and a leg to get these things. This is clearly a failed experiment kind of on the Bushiroad side of things, and I would definitely put these back into the case. If you want to create value for the local game store, make a high rarity version of this over here and make those only available through tournament packs, or make those only available through, you know, just purchase packs, so to speak. You know, do the box toppers as the commons, and then, you know, whatever, the local game store gets whatever it wants, a special high rarity version of this, which apparently now high rarity is just a little border on the outside. It looks terrible. I think frame rares are just a disaster. The whole triple rare kind of incident that's come to be has really been a disaster for this game in a lot of different ways. And I think a lot of people are going to look to alternate formats, if even stay in the game at all. I love V, I love Premium. Premium's awesome. And I feel like at this point I have to just step away from standard. I'm not priced out. This brings me to my last point. I'm not priced out in the sense that I can't afford this stuff. So I'm almost 30 years old. I have my career. I'm full steam in it right now. Salaried position. You know, I make a good money. I'm not gonna say how much money I make, but I make good money, and I own my own home. I own my own car. You know, I pay my own bills and everything. I can afford this game. It's just the value. The price does not equal the value in my head, and I feel like that's what a lot of this outrage is kind of coming from. It's just not worth it to spend, you know, $400 on 4 promo cards. Like, why would I do that? Like, where is the sense? There's not the general payoff that like, oh, I can go win this huge cash prize, I have to have this card or this or that. That's just not the case. This is not the game for it. This is not the right way to go about it, especially in a game that you've just rebooted. It's the second year or whatever it is Overdress is in. You just rebooted it for like the 3rd time. You're trying to get players in as your entry-level format. This is not okay. What deck are you supposed to point to at the moment and say, yeah, go play this, go play that? You know, let's run through the best decks, actually. Let's do that. Let's go Flagberg. You know, you need in the pulses, $30 a pop. Youthberg, you know, I have Youthberg actually up over here. Doesn't use promos. This is, again, $44. You're probably in for around $500 right now for Youthberg. Again, insanely expensive, just not worth it in general. Let's look what else. Ava, promo. Dagria is pretty good now. Promo hell. Overlord is promo. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Michu's okay. What else? Lutetia. Again, you're probably looking 200 plus. There's no deck you can really point to right now and be like, oh, this is super cheap, super cheap, and will definitely still contend with the meta, outside of maybe the new Chronojet thing coming out, and like you have to play a more budget version, I guess, of that. I might be speaking ahead of myself. It's not, that hasn't been released at the time of recording right now, but I think in general, there's just a huge price issue right now. It has to be addressed because they're trying to, like I said, just placate local game stores, vendors, things like that, and they're doing wrong by the consumers. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your comments down below if you're interested in purchasing any of these ridiculous cards over here. I would be so honored if you used our TCG player link down in the description below. Absolutely no cost to you. If you did like the content, make sure to leave a like on the video. Possibly consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me. This is Alex from Team Generations signing out.